Good afternoon and welcome to Raven First Take. I'm Adam Donner. You're watching live on the Raven Network. Today we're going to be taking a little bit of a look at this Chief draft class. Xavier Worthy, one of the fastest players in NFL history. Alongside him, Kingsley Suamatea, big O lineman out of BYU. We'll also take a look at Kelsey's new contract extension, making him the richest tight end in NFL history. Along with that, NBA playoffs, the Suns swept in 4 by the Timberwolves, all that and more here on the Raven Network. Don't go anywhere. So the first thing we're going to take a look at, the Chiefs draft class. Xavier Worthy, as mentioned before, fastest player in combine history. We talked about it a little bit last week, but now we got a full draft class to talk about. So let's start with that. Xavier Worthy, fastest player in combine history.
Buffalo Bills. What happened? You let the Chiefs get fastest player in history?
Honestly, how many times does this have to happen?
How did that happen?
The Bills just absolutely making the Chiefs better again and again.
Yep.
The rich
year after year.
Thank you.
The rich get richer. I mean,
do I smell a back-to-back-to-back?
I think
we could smell one before before this draft even came through.
The aroma is definitely in the air.
The Bills were just helping, like they were wafting it to us.
I think the most confusing bit about this to me is that they traded away that 28th pick. And in that 28th pick is the fastest player in combine history. And the one thing that the Bills really need right now is a wide receiver after losing Stephon.
What I thought was so interesting about trading away that pick is Xavier Legette. Then they trade back with Carolina, and they go and they take the next best receiver.
Keon Coleman.
Yeah.
Hey, but personally, as a draft enthusiast, I had Keon Coleman sliding low second round, high third round, just simply because of his 4'6". But he is a basketball player. He goes up and he grabs that ladder. Compared to Mike Williams, I think he'll be really great for Buffalo.
Yeah.
I mean, just the trading down just is so confusing if you're Buffalo because their big thing is they need wide receivers. They let the fastest one go. They let guys like Legette go. It's just so confusing to me how that all happens. And I don't think their pick was the best pick, out of the options.
And especially out of all the teams you could trade with as the Buffalo Bills, it almost makes you look like a joke.
Yeah.
Doing this essentially for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, who's the one team that everybody's looking to beat? The one team with a target on their back. It's the team who's won the championship the past 2 years. And you're giving them exactly what they want, Bills.
I mean, this is also the same team that they were looking at when they were looking at trading Stephon Diggs. Eventually, he goes to Texans. But it's like they were open to trading with any team except for the Chiefs. And then they trade away that pick and Xavier Worthy goes. So confusing.
One thing that absolutely fried my brain when I was seeing it in person is the Adonai Mitchell mishaps. I had no previous knowledge on why he was falling so far in the draft.
Yeah.
But I mean, even with the Bills pick, they go Keon Coleman instead of Adonai Mitchell. And I'm just like, where's he at?
Yeah.
Character issues, I guess.
Adonai
he fell a lot. He fell a lot. I mean, a lot of people were thinking this guy could go first round. A lot of people were Chiefs are going Texas wide receiver. That was pretty easy to see. If it's not Xavier Worthy, it's likely Adonai Mitchell.
Exactly.
And Adonai Mitchell falls even below that. What was he, middle of the second round, around the 20th pick? That to me was also really confusing.
Pick 53, pick 54, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, that's too far for A.D. Mitchell.
Yeah, it's super confusing there. And but in light of other Chiefs news, Travis Kelce today, huge contract extension, I believe 2-year deal, going to make him the highest paid tight end.
It is about time. Ladies and gentlemen, the one thing they've been saying about Kelce is about his team playerness, is how he's taking a pay cut. He's putting up wide receiver numbers. He's getting paid like a fullback. What's going on? Kelce finally gets his money. He finally gets his paycheck to, flex on Taylor Swift and her billion.
I really like this. It really helps clear the air with everything going on with the Chiefs currently. We saw Travis Kelce in the Super Bowl get super frustrated with him, going and forcefully running into it.
Pushing.
Yeah,
Red.
and it shows his competitiveness, but it also raised questions on, is Travis good? Is he gonna be okay to keep playing? That's not normal to have that happen.
And with him having a quote down year this year, even questions with him retiring. Is he going to go out with his brother? Is he going to one more year and he's done? This 2-year deal locks him up for 3 years total with the Chiefs. I'm super excited.
Yeah, I know. Matt and I talked about this actually quite a bit. It was a big topic of conversation amongst us. Is he staying? Is he going? And we really could not get to the bottom of it. But this is definitely what we want to see. If you're a Chiefs fan, you love Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
You know he's a great player. Even when he's having bad games, he still can be there for the team in other ways. But, yeah, just as a Chiefs fan, I would just be ecstatic. And the organization should also be just absolutely ecstatic. And Travis Kelce, highest paid tight end now, that's going to give him a chip on his shoulder.
Extremely deserved.
So one thing that is kind of going under the radar with this new signing, think about how old Travis Kelce is. He's pushing 34, 35. And he's getting paid the most ever by a tight end. Think about all of the tight ends that are high tier, at least in the NFL right now, that are pushing new contracts, seeing all of this Travis Kelce money, like George Kittle, Kyle Pitts, several dudes that are going to be asking for 8-digit contracts now.
For Travis Kelce money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to be paid like Kelce, especially if he has another season like he had. He only we say down year, but we're talking about Travis Kelce.
Yeah, a down year for Kelce is
down year for Kelce is a great year for any tight end, but except for himself.
And the thing about that down year is, maybe he wasn't the most productive he's been on the field in recent history. I don't think he managed to hit 1,000 yards last season. And he had that long streak of 5 or 6 years, 1,000 yards every season.
Only missed it by some.
7
15.
seasons, to be exact.
7?
I'm seeing right here, right now. 7 seasons of at least 1,000 receiving yards, more than any other tight end in NFL history.
That's just nuts. And maybe he wasn't as productive on field, but he's there in other ways. He was there. He's freeing up because there's problem was with the Chiefs last year is there's no wideouts. Everyone is focusing on Kelce. It provides a lot of opportunity for these wideouts to get open.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're seeing a lot of good new wideouts coming into Kansas City.
Marquise
Brown signing, Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, if he's not suspended for too long.
Mm-hmm.
That paired along with Kelce, it's going to be difficult to gauge where the attention is going to go. It seems like there's just always going to be a guy open when the Chiefs take the field now.
Going back to sort of our draft class, the Xavier Worthy pick is honestly extremely underlooked. Even though throughout all the high poise from Chiefs fans all across the Kansas City metro area, we love Xavier Worthy, but it is still going unnoticed how important he will be to this, to the play scheme, the offensive scheme.
Yeah.
Freeing up that downfield region will open up the middle, open up the edges, literally anything for our playmakers, and then play up over the top.
No, I think that's one thing that's very unique about Xavier Worthy is his ability to be anywhere in this Kansas City offense. Andy Reid, he could throw him in as a gadget player, some jet sweeps, some quick tunnel screens, or we could throw him into the return game. He's the fastest in the game.
Yeah, we saw that. We saw that
with Tyreek Hill. He had never. That's what we're hoping. The comparisons are there. The speed is there. The jump ball ability is, I would say, even better than Tyreek Hill ever had. We can have him as a downfield receiver, throw him in the slot, whatever we want. I really love this pick.
It just brings back that deep threat to Kansas City, and that's what made him so unique in those first 2 years with with Hill. And that deep threat is what made us so deadly. You look at games like that Rams-Chiefs game where both teams are putting up 50-plus points. And that deep threat is just having that element back in a Kansas City offense is huge for this team if they want to get back-to-back.
Yeah, it was always so dangerous back in the day when we had Reek, but we made do without it, and now we have another player.
Now you got another guy who's at that
We can
speed.
work him up, turn him into one of the best receivers the Chiefs have ever seen.
Let's do it.
It's possible.
Let's do it.
Let's hope so.
Okay, and something I want to add really quick, going back to Travis Kelce and his new contract. His production, it's been going down a little bit as he's getting older. That's undeniable fact. But the thing is, when you're looking at a player like Kelce, you're not just paying him for his stats. You're paying for Travis Kelce. You look at this whole thing with Taylor Swift, his jersey numbers, his sales skyrocketed.
Yeah.
He's bringing in so much money for the franchise.
revenue,
The benefits
yeah.
go
Just
beyond
not just on the field,
Yeah.
but just in the culture.
And not just in America.
In the marketing
And not just
board.
Not just in North
it's a
America.
World, it's
Not just in our hemisphere.
Yeah, as
He's
NFL
international.
starts to
It's
become
an
a world-class
intercontinental
sport.
move, to say the very least.
Exactly.
It's a huge move for the Chiefs, and it's like you said, it goes beyond the field, and that's what's so big about this move, and that contract. Now, NBA playoffs going on. The Suns and the T-Wolves. You have guys like Kevin Durant, Devin Booker on this Suns team, and this Suns team gets 4-0.
Don't matter.
You know,
Ant
we-
is
have we-
that guy.
Have we seen the end of the super team scheme?
I mean, yeah, you see all these different teams. They're just bringing a bunch of highly skilled, usually offensive skilled players, trying to bring them all into one team. Everybody's trying to build super teams nowadays, and honestly, it's just not even working. The Timberwolves have just waited. They got Anthony Edwards, built around him, Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call the Timberwolves a super team, but they have so many guys that play so many different roles that it's hard to stop when you only have guys like Kevin Durant or Devin Booker just scoring for the Suns.
I think that although they tried to be a super team, they somehow found a way to mess that up, yet still be incredibly good.
Yeah.
They traded Rudy Gobert in 5 first-round picks, or they traded whoever it was to receive Rudy Gobert for 5 first-round picks, and it turned out perfectly well for them because they found Jaden McDaniels, they found Naz Reid, Mike Conley they signed. All incredible pickups that they were not aware of at the time.
And we talk about the competition Minnesota's up against. We've seen these super teams with Kevin Durant before. We saw it in Portland. We saw it in
Brooklyn. We
Golden
saw it in Golden State.
We saw it even way back in Oklahoma City.
Somewhat, yes.
Yeah.
But the one thing the Suns are lacking, and we've already said it, they don't have depth. And the one thing that this Minnesota team has is depth through those draft picks and all those accusations they've had. I don't think anybody's surprised here. 1 seed moving on, Minnesota.
And just
All right, excuse me. Thunder are the 1 seed. Excuse me. My apologies.
But just going back, Kevin Durant washed.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement to make.
Bradley Beal.
33 points last night, to be fair.
It doesn't matter. He should have stepped up higher throughout the series.
You know, it's almost like every single Anthony Edwards clip I see, the shot is made on Kevin Durant. Is there
He's definitely an offensive player, but here's the thing. You say he's washed, but in a team like the Suns where you have these 3 superstars, there's only one ball, you know? You look at last night's stats, Devin Booker went for 49, all right? Then Durant complemented that with 33. It's like you have multiple superstars that are going to do their thing. They're going to score the ball. But there's only so much time that they can have to do that.
really, Phoenix is just missing that inside presence. They've got the perimeter scoring. They've got Yusuf Nurkic. Let's take a little trip back to Portland when he was with Dame Dollar. Didn't win squat. Did not win squat. Interior defense was the problem. It was Yusuf Nurkic. Now we fast forward into Phoenix. All right, we're scoring points. We're putting up numbers. Our interior defense is looking whack. Who could be the problem? It's Nurk. I'm sorry, playoff teams, you just can't win games with Nurk.
Yeah, I mean, it's really coming full circle now. Just the Timberwolves, how they play, they'll play through their bigs until they make you play with their perimeter players. But even once you get to the depth of their perimeter players, it doesn't matter. You have Anthony Edwards, maybe Michael Jordan's son, who will turn up at any given moment. Or he could be dishing the rock to Naz Reid or Jaden McDaniels, some of the best three-point shooters in this playoff.
And Karl Anthony Towns, one of the better three-point big men in the league. And having Karl Anthony Towns with Rudy Gobert together,
best rebounder, best three-point shooters.
Best three-point shooting big. All the other shooters.
Defensive player of the year.
They are definitely one of my top contenders to go and take this thing. If anybody were to take it from the Nugs or the Celtics, it would be the Timberwolves.
And a lot of people count Anthony Edwards out just based on the fact that he's young. Just based on the fact that he's new to this league. But
inexperienced.
We've been seeing time and time again, he's playing like he's been there before. He knows what he's doing, even if he hasn't.
He's not one to shy away from.
He just has that chip on his shoulder, yeah, and he is not afraid of the competition. That is for sure. Just however many times you've seen him dunk on Kevin Durant,
the passing of the torch.
Yeah,
the passing of the torch.
Absolutely, crazy.
So, any other matchups that we are feeling just strong feelings about, or that we're a little surprised on?
Well, I mean, we saw the LeBron quote, right? They got an extra life now. 3-1 in the series. Do we think?
I don't think.
No team has ever come back from.
Still a gentleman's sweep.
2 years ago with Celtics Heat.
Yeah.
Celtics Heat last year.
This is not the same.
I mean, LeBron's always going to get his one.
Yeah, gentleman's sweep.
Nothing. The Pacers.
Bucks, Pacers. Dame being injured. It's a Pacers series now.
Yeah.
They might get one more with how Chris Middleton has been playing. Shout out Chris Middleton. But, I mean, there's really nowhere else to go on that team. Bobby Portis obviously has the potential to go and take over a game, I would say.
He's not getting ejected for fighting.
Yeah, like,
that is true.
You never truly know what's going on with Bobby Portis. And Chris Middleton, is not the player to go out and steal a win in the playoffs.
No.
Although he has been hooped.
All right, last series, Sixers, Knicks. I'm a Sixers fan, if you guys don't know. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, the Knicks have just been showing us they can do it. They can do it here time and time and again. I do believe they are going to be a second-round exit.
Yeah.
But,
For sure.
I mean, just going out there and just absolutely giving it to the Sixers. Even only winning by, like, how much did they win by? It was 97 and 92. It has been continuing to be close games from both these teams, but the Knicks are just always finding themselves on top of these matchups.
Yeah.
That depth from the Knicks with Bojan, Dante DiVincenzo, Precious Achiuwa, OG Anunoby, like, that will just be a repetitive, just, like, dismantling of teams later on down the road, in my opinion. I personally even like the Knicks going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Because you think about it, they have an easy Pacers team that is like...
An easy Pacers team? You're talking about a team that has led in assists per game in the entire league and points per game in the entire league.
And has future gold medalist Tyrese Halliburton.
It doesn't matter. Tyrese has shown his ability to fall apart in big games.
He's also shown his ability to step up in games that matter. We saw him in the play-in tournament.
Okay, that was last year. This is a different year for Tyrese. He got hurt in the middle of the season with his knee. And then now we have the Knicks, a defense-oriented team that can entirely dismantle the Pacers' offense if needed to, as they shut down the new point-per-possession leader, Joel Embiid. They are currently shutting down one of the biggest NBA, like one of the best NBA bigs in Joel Embiid.
Joel Embiid.
In a position that they lack.
Falling apart Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid has been dealing with the same injuries since the beginning of the season.
Isaiah Hartenstein has been having his way with Joel Embiid this series, and it is only to show how far they can go. Isaiah Hartenstein will carry the Knicks as far as he can. Once he's done, Knicks are done. So, Eastern Conference Finals.
I'm sorry. Out of all the names
we serious?
Saying that
is this Mitchell Robinson's backup?
that would carry. If
Is this Mitchell
anybody's
Robinson's
going to
backup?
carry the Knicks, it's going to be Isaiah Hartenstein.
I did say that, yeah.
Embiid P.
Okay, well, I wouldn't.
Not this year.
I wouldn't
Not
go
this
so
year.
far
Hey,
as
hey,
to.
I'm a
I
Sixers
wouldn't.
fan,
I
y'all.
wouldn't go as far as to say MV beat or whatever. That's just.
Well, I wouldn't go as far to say that.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
Some
You'll
bum is
see.
gonna beat
You'll
up
see.
on a
You'll see.
highly touted basketball.
If they're
player that
facing
I
up against the
love,
Pacers,
wins
who
the
is that? Miles Turner, great defensive presence inside, alongside Pascal Siakam, perimeter defender, and also can get inside and block shots. How is Isaiah Hartenstein going to carry? Yeah, sure, one Joel Embiid, but who else is there to stop him?
Bro, it doesn't matter. Dante DiVincenzo, OJ Anunoby, Jalen Brunson, Bojan Bogdanovic, any of those dudes have the potential to will their team to a win if necessary.
Wrong.
Why have they never done it before?
Wrong.
None of them. Absolutely zero has ever even been in a conversation.
They've never
like
been.
that.
They've never been on the same team. When you mesh people together, that's how they work together and win a.
So
win a
what
game.
Jackson
That's
Decken
teamwork.
is saying here is the Knicks got the Infinity Stones.
Say it.
Yeah, the Knicks got the Infinity Stone. Eastern Conference
Hey,
Finals.
straight on the barrel. Say that. Say it.
I'm cool. The Knicks have the Infinity Stone. They will head to the Eastern Conference Finals, but
That might have been one of the
We'll
worst
see.
takes I've ever heard you say.
All right.
So you got
I would say that.
Knicks Celtics.
of course.
All right, moving on to more NBA. We can ignore the Thunder's Pelicans. I think that's
yeah.
don't I gotta talk about that.
We don't-
Celtics Heat.
Sweep that under
Celtics
the
you
rug.
can pull that out. I think we're all in agreement of that.
I do want to say, what do we think?
Go Celtics.
How far
I hate
is
the Heat.
how far is this young
Maybe
Thunder
next year,
team
Jimmy.
going?
Okay,
You know,
the fact that you made it a point to say this young Thunder team is a problem because they've been showing that they do have the youngest average age in the league.
They
if
are
I'm
a
not
young team,
mistaken.
but they're
And the
not.
lowest defensive rating of all playoff teams by a large margin.
even though they're leading the league in steals.
They are.
What
How
a
does
stat,
that-
guys! How did we piece that together?
Whoa! They got the lowest.
They have
so
the
they lead
lowest-
steals and they have the lowest defense.
They have the lowest defensive
is-
rating
I mean, yeah.
in the playoffs.
steals that
so
don't really
far
constitute as buckets
against
so.
the Zionless Pelicans. Think about that. They are down 8%, whatever the defensive rating stat is. They are down 8 ratings to the next closest team. How are they going to deal with that further on? Whereas the playoffs are proven to be a
Second round.
defense-oriented.
I like that. And here, the Thunder, they are a very good offensive team, very young. They do put points on the board, and they do win games, obviously, 1 seed.
Yeah.
But I know, I did talk to you about saying young, which they are all young.
They're young.
I don't
You
think
can't
that's a
argue with
problem.
that.
I
Youngest
don't
team.
think that's a problem with their like how they play, but
Because they're still playing at a very
playoff
high level.
experience.
That's what I was
That's-
saying.
that's
I
about-
think
that's
while
what he
this
was
is-
which
inferring.
I would not be using young and playoff experience in the same like category because it's completely
obviously.
different, irrelevant. They do lack playoff experience.
Yeah, no, 100%.
But I do like where this team is going. I do like this a lot because they're going to find themselves in the playoffs more and more often if
100%.
they keep this group of guys together. They're gelling really well together.
they are.
I mean, the only way these guys, they're all dogs, okay? We got some
No,
dogs.
this is a good team.
Yeah, we got a great team on our hands, but they're all on rookie contracts. Man. We got Shea's got a contract. Lou Dort's got a contract. Possibly. Chet's on rookie.
Isaiah Joe,
Like,
Lou Dort.
where are we gonna find the money? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thunder, we have the draft capital. All right, we can keep drafting, or we can throw all of our draft picks away for money.
We know they
Yeah.
can keep drafting.
Oh, yeah, we
just
know they
based
can
on
drink.
all the picks that
That they got from the
Acquired.
Shy trade.
Yeah.
Shea.
I think with this team, they don't have while they've been playing so well to this point, I don't think they have the experience to make a deep run in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't think this is their year, but I think here in the next
We have
year
years
or two,
to come.
They've
Yeah.
got years to come where they've got chances to do some really incredible things and finally bring a title to OKC.
Oh yeah.
I just don't think this is the year for that. I think it's within the next.
It's definitely
2 years.
it's definitely
They've got a
promising.
realistic shot.
It's showing
a
us
promising
it's
year.
showing us that
100%.
they might be ready to compete.
I think we're going to start
already
seeing
have.
our usual big markets like, Celtics, Lakers, all these big teams going to the championship. I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of this Thunder, Minnesota.
little more small markets.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
with all the Minnesota stuff, they've never really been relevant before.
Yeah.
With
Ever.
KG,
Yeah.
with KG being one of their premier players
Made the
in their
playoffs
franchise.
once.
Yeah, they've been swept more times in the playoffs than I can count.
Fun fact, didn't Anthony Edwards just pass KG for most 30-point games in the playoffs?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
That is
Fun
I did see
tidbit.
that. No,
Yeah.
it's like
Third-year
the
player Anthony
Timberwolves-
Edwards, that is.
The Timberwolves used to be that team where you would bring it up to your friend and then they would laugh at you.
Give
Kinda
you a
like
little
the
chuckle.
Clippers.
Like
Kind of like the Clippers.
Kind of like the Clippers, especially right now. Kawhi, I think his knee soreness has turned into knee inflammation.
No, let's talk about James Harden. All right?
The beard.
We perceive him as playoff choker, dies in the playoffs, can't do anything. He has been willing the Clippers essentially by himself to wins over this Mavericks team.
All right.
So no Paul George. We're not.
It's about time.
Clippers.
Paul George
Clippers.
had
What are we going to do on D?
6 points, game 3.
What are we going to do on D?
And
We got
8 assists.
James Harden versus Anthony Edwards. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
Can't throw a hurt Kawhi at him.
Hey,
Okay,
don't-
let's throw Paul George at him.
What about the Mavs? All right, don't
We can't count. the
don't brush
Mavs
it. Don't
out
brush
yet.
aside
I
on
wasn't
Mavs
counting
that
the
fast.
Mavs.
All right.
Hey, for the record, I was not counting the Mavs out. I was just making a case for why the Clippers could possibly be a fraudulent team and why that James Harden take could possibly be fraudulent. Because yes, they're willing him.
Well, yeah,
He-
he-
We got to
He's
see
willing.
if that keeps
He's
up.
playing-
There's still a lot of
I'm
games
just
to play.
acknowledging that he's playing well, as I did with Chris Middleton. He is hooping like nobody expected him to.
Yeah, on offense. Everybody expected him to do the way he
Okay.
did on defense last night.
A little curveball here. Cavaliers Magic. It's starting to get
It's getting
intense.
Yeah.
Like we thought Jared Allen and Ev Mobley were just going to stomp all over Paulo Banchero and Franz Wagner. And
They
That-
held their own. Yeah.
that has been essentially the opposite of what has happened.
Play
What's
that
the series
song.
at right now?
2-2.
Play that
Magic
started,
just
did it not-
surprisingly
it started
2-2.
did it not?
It did start 2-0.
Cavs,
And Magic have
they found
won
themselves back in it.
both of their last 2 games by I think a minimum of 15 points.
Yeah.
So they have figured out how to shoot long range shots and they're starting to knock them down. So that could be a potential shakeup to say the least.
Sleeper second round pick.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Weren't both of their wins at home though?
Their 2 wins,
It-
yes. So
it-
Cleveland has won both their games in Cleveland. Orlando's won both their games in Orlando. They got one more
So-
to play in Orlando.
So does this look like a series that's
It's not a series.
home team
Home-based.
kind of? I don't know. I don't know.
Is Cleveland bumping? Let us know.
They ain't been bumping since Braun left.
That's what I'm saying. I had to ask. I had to ask. I don't know.
Okay,
What do
but
y'all do in Cleveland?
we do have to see how the Magic perform once their home heater's over.
Yeah.
Once their
Yeah.
home
Yeah.
heater is over, if they go into Cleveland and they are still hot, knocking down shots from outside like they haven't been all season,
See ya.
100%.
it could be trouble potentially for the Celtics in round 2.
Ooh.
If they have been going up and like flipping the status quo on what they did earlier this season, think about that. It could be a magic takeover essentially.
I was thinking more of the Knicks. I don't know. Knicks seem to have the Infinity Stones.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the Knicks, yeah, they've got who do they got?
DiVincenzo. Oh, no. Who was that? Isaiah Hartenstein. Yeah, he's just gonna put it up, man.
It don't matter, bro. It's not gonna matter. Think about that, dude. Think about that.
Dude.
Like, just be honest with yourself. Like, you have two very nice defenders that are 2 big defending centers, right? So
Right.
You know, wait. Something I want to say real quick. Going back to the Clippers, Mavs.
Yeah.
Got you.
You know, the Clippers, they're only in the top 5 in the league in one category. You want to know what that is?
Turnover rating?
Free throw percentage.
Ah!
That's it.
Fraud.
In the top 5.
James Harden,
James
you're a
Harden.
fraud. You are
James
Joel
Harden.
Embiid.
Hey, he can make his free throws though.
All right.
That's
Where's
it.
this kid?
That's it.
Oh, are we over
That's
here?
it.
Give me, give me one of these.
You're-
It's this one. Fraud. James Harden, you are a fraud.
Your hair's
Where's this one at? Right here? Fraud.
Your beard's probably fake.
My beard is better. Where am I at?
Merchant.
My beard's better than James Harden's, confirmed.
Merchant.
Yeah, so
Alright, done.
I'm taking the Mavs. Needless to say.
Okay,
Needless to
before
say.
we
I do
before
like-
we wrap up, real quick, finals picks. We'll go down the line. Who
Finals.
do we have?
NBA finals.
NBA finals picks.
Finals.
Finals. Who do we have?
Yeah, that's all.
Joe.
Oh.
He doesn't want to go.
Yeah, I'm taking the Mavs.
Okay.
I believe.
Okay.
Mavs.
Hey, I believe in Kyrie. I believe in
By
Kyrie.
the way,
You believe in Kyrie?
I believe in Kyrie and
You're
Doncic.
picking. Okay.
Hey,
I
you
believe-
just dropped
hey.
49 on your head last night.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great.
They do. Like, no one believed in them. No one thought they would click as a duo.
That is true.
They proved them all wrong. All right. I believe.
But can we take a second to admit, like, not gonna lie, Kyrie and Luka, they've been the most fun to watch out of everybody.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
And,
I
you know,
think I think Gafford finally getting some games under his belt.
Daniel Gafford.
Daniel Gafford.
getting
Wizards.
some games under his
He
belt.
got out,
Playoff
essentially.
experience. Derek
got out.
Lively,
Yeah.
Tim Hardaway Jr. All those people getting playoff time. It'll help, it'll help them form together.
When they're not hurt.
With cohesiveness.
Yeah, and it'll help them adapt to the moment. And if they do happen to push to the finals, I don't see a world where if they're comfortable, then they fall apart.
so you have Mavs against.
Celtics. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
really
it's hard. It's
Yeah.
What other team are you gonna choose? They've
it's
looked
like-
unstoppable,
It's like not wanting to choose UConn to win your
Yeah.
March Madness bracket
Yeah,
this year.
100%.
which I didn't. But
Well, you had BYU.
well, we.
Can I actually ask you a little
So-
bit of a side question, Matt? I just,
No, go ahead. Go ahead, yeah.
From our personal interactions, how long have I been saying Celtics win the whole thing? Even before.
I
any
don't
of the
know. Maybe
playoffs
since the Nuggets won it last year, you're like, hey, look out for them boys in green next year.
I don't. It could have been that long. I'm not too sure, but I know I have been calling the Celtics win, and I'm not even a Celtics fan. I'm a Nuggets fan, as all of you probably know. I do see them meeting up, finding each other here in this playoff series. But I've been with the Celtics for so long, and I want to see both of those teams in the final. I do want to see the Nuggets come out on top.
Yeah.
But just how amazing the Celtics have been, how efficient they've been. I think it might be Jason Tatum's time to finally will a team to this championship.
I agree with you. I got Celtics Nuggets as well. I just don't. These are two dominant teams that have just not shown signs of slowing down. I think
Yeah.
those two are in the finals. Really quick, Jackson and Matt. Who do you guys have?
All right. I'm going to just go ahead and be different here. I'm going to go ahead and take
More different than me?
Minnesota to beat the defending champions in the Western Conference Finals to play the Celtics
That's
and
a
lose
take.
to the Celtics. But I really love Rudy Gobert and Kat, and then with Anthony Edwards at the
Love
at
the
top
future
of
of
the
that
tree,
team.
cherry on top. I love it.
So yeah, I mess with that a lot. We got Timberwolves taking on the Nuggets in the second round. I got Timberwolves over the Nuggets, and then I have the Thunder taking down whoever comes out of the Clippers versus Mavericks series. Then I got Minnesota essentially waltzing into the finals. Whoever they play, they will. Doesn't even matter. They will run them over. Then I have Celtics versus Magic. Celtics versus Magic. I got to go Pacers now. Then I got Knicks,
This is just
but I got Minnesota taking on the Celtics in the finals with the Celtics probably in 6 or 7.
I would love to hear what you'd like
I would
to
like to just hear. I would like to hear what you think the series is going to go to between Minnesota and the Nuggets.
Well, I mean, who's stopping?
Who's stopping Jokic?
Bro, Cat
The
and Gobert.
defensive player of the year.
I have
Cat and
not
Gobert.
seen
That'd be a great
single
person. That would be a. Sorry.
all season been able to stop Jokic. Not even Wembanyama was able
That's
to
cool.
stop Jokic.
I have.
That's cool.
And he has an 8-foot wingspan.
That's one player, bro. That's
So you're
one-
saying Jokic should be more worried about Rudy Gobert than Wembanyama?
Rudy Gobert and Cat
Hey,
and the
one thing.
entire.
Hey, guys,
One
guys,
thing.
Matt's raising his hand. He's got something to say real quick.
I already said it though. Who could possibly be the best player to shut down the best offensive player? Best defensive player, right?
Yeah.
Who has that?
Should be
Minnesota!
Should be Wembanyama.
Minnesota!
Should be the Spurs.
Should be.
No.
The only reason
No,
Gobert.
because he's a. I know what you're gonna say. The only reason Gobert won Defensive Player of the Year over Wembanyama is because Wembanyama's a freshman or whatever you want to call him. He's a rookie.
Rookie is the term
No, Rudy Gobert deserves it. He's the Stifle Tower. You hear me? Stifle Tower. We win.
So would like Wembanyama be like the Burj Khalifa?
Yeah,
No,
did
he's-
you know
he's French, too.
Gobert's not even the top 5 in blocks in the season? Not even
Who?
Gobert.
Your defensive.
Defensive Player
if
of
we're
the
talking
Year.
about
Wembanyama's ahead of second place by more than a block a game.
I mean,
If we're talking about
As a
statistics, who's
rookie?
statistically the defensive player of the year?
Wembanyama.
Oh boy.
I
I think we're gonna-
Statistically.
guys,
I agree.
Statistically,
The stats don't lie.
I think we're gonna have to cut it
The
there.
stats don't lie.
Well, I'd love to hear where this goes because this is getting heated. I love this. We don't have any more time here, and that's going to do it for
Unfortunately,
us.
we do not.
Unfortunately, we do not have any
Unfortunately,
time.
we do not.
This is to be continued. This has been Adam Donner, Joe Brescia, Jackson Deckant, Chris McCormick, and Matt Imsamembo on the whatever that was,
Whatever
on
that
the
was.
Raven Network.
Hey, we love you
Jack,
guys.
man, we love you.
We
Thank
love
you for running
guys.
Dry
Thanks
Gas
for
Fresh.
tuning in to Second Take tonight.